Holy shit, a lightning bug got in the house and I almost pissed myself because there was suddenly a random floating light and my dumbass sleep-deprived brain went, aliens? Sir, please stop illuminating in the kitchen. Please, it's 1 a.m. So it's like a couple days later, and guess who just had a lightning bug land on their hand while they were sitting in the dark, watching TikToks, and consequently jumped a mile in surprise, throwing the cat laying on their chest up into the air. It was me. You would not believe your eyes if one random firefly flew into your house as you tried to sleep, cracking up at the idea that OP saw a firefly in their house and was like, oh damn, one of the slowest and most easily catchable bugs on planet Earth that literally gives away its location with a blinking light. Welp, no way I can get that thing outside. Might as well just leave it. They became friends, you meanie. You're my new favorite addition to this post.
Epic rap battles of history. Puppy versus Kitty. Begin!
10 minutes of sniffing the mic. Everyone, go home. This is the only good add-on to this post. Tumblr is really interesting because you can say something like, Thursday is Duck with a Top Hat Day, and half the website will reblog it. Duck in a Top Hat Thursday, y'all! Happy Duck in a Top Hat Thursday! OP only has themselves to blame when this has 10,000 plus posts and is posted every Thursday. Oh, don't you dare! Happy Top Hat Duck Thursday, everyone! The photojournalist's dilemma. Save your girlfriend's pasta or get the shot of a lifetime. We owe it to our commitment to the truth to not interfere in the story. That is the choice. The moment we act, we are involved with creating the story, and as we become a part of it, it becomes partially about us, and the truth then may never be known. Actors cannot be unbiased. Actors become targets. Rip spaghetti belongings. That's not how you say spaghetti bolognese. I love when flowers close in the evening. Like, good night, girl. I love you. Sleep tight. Hello, it is time for my favorite fact, which is that sometimes when the flowers close, there is a little bee inside, spending the night all cozy and safe in his little nook. Specifically, male squash bees do this in squash flowers. Look at a field of squash or pumpkins at night, and there are little guys snoozing in there. This knowledge brings me such joy that I must share it with the world. That's so cute. If you're a fan of shapes, it is your lucky day. That's a shaped cat, like a big scoop of soft serve. So very unit. I fucking love shapes. Body. Gumdrop animal. Now that is a shape. Orbular little lass. Your testimonials are increasing her power. I hope she likes hugs and little head smooches because that's what she'll get from me looking so fluffy like that. Squat crocambouche. Motherfucker limited. The creature ever. Oh, she's a squishmallow. Love is stored in the shape. Chubby. Fucking chumby. Creature. Please, she is growing too strong. If you learn to love bugs with all your heart, the world will feel half as hostile and 1,000 times as big. Can confirm. You know that vast sensation you get when you look up at the stars and go, wow, there are whole other worlds out there. Massive, mysterious, and unknown. I have that same sensation when I crouch down to look at dirt, mud, grass, tree roots, anthills, rotten logs, leaf litter, roadkill, big dry rocks that I'm not strong enough to turn over. There are whole other worlds down there, mysterious, and just known enough for me to feel it when I stare at them. Whoa, dude. Feeling bad? I'm gonna go on Pet Finder and find the most bizarre cat names possible. We'll report back with any notable ones. Notable entries: Celery Prince, Blue Dabbity, Brussels Sprout, Skype, Toby, very gentle and sweet, Edward Cullen, James, female, That's Amore, Revolver, Mr. Cardboard, might I add, the Magical Cheese Wizard Provolone Dave. Fun fact! Lions aren't very good climbers, but they can jump 36 feet. No, they can leap 36 feet, as in leap forward 36 feet. They don't jump 36 feet into the fucking sky. Do you know how terrifying that would be? The human race wouldn't have survived because we'd have all had heart attacks while still in Africa. Look at that. Oh, it's jumping higher than a giraffe. Death from above. This post makes me cry every single damn time. This is one of those legendary posts that's been around since I first made a Tumblr. When I didn't have access to my Tumblr for a few years, I would sometimes reference this post. Iconic. Lol. Birds made a deal with the devil. They had no soul to give, so in exchange for the gift of flight, they traded in their ability to give a fuck. You ever seen a bird give a fuck? A goose will fight a truck if the mood strikes. A pigeon can and will make a nest in a currently occupied owl nest. A wild parrot can fly right through your window just to rip the keys off your laptop purely for fun. And ostriches then traded their flight for better speed to run you down and kick the shit out of you. There has never been a single bird in the history of birds who had one single fuck to give. My cats hate each other and fight all the time. But when we leave my boy cat, who has the world's tiniest meow, on the porch too long, our girl cat will start to yell at me to let him in. I don't know where this camaraderie comes from, considering they spend most of their time slapping the shit out of each other. Mom, you left the dumb baby outside again. He's gonna die. You better let him back in. My girl cat. Mother, you have left my dearest, darlingest brother on the porch. You must admit him post-haste. My girl cat 3 seconds later. Haha, get bitch slapped, idiot. She wants him to come back inside so she can beat him up. True sibling love. The notes on this post are gold. My dad whistles a specific melody when he comes to refill the bird feeders. The birds have started singing it when they're empty. This bitch empty. Tweet. Have any of you heard of the Harvard-MIT pigeon prank? An MIT student dressed in a black and white striped shirt went to the Harvard football stadium every day of one summer, blowing a whistle while scattering breadcrumbs or birdseed to coax neighborhood pigeons down onto the field. At Harvard's opening game of the season, upon the referee's first whistle, it said that hundreds of pigeons descended onto the field, causing a half-hour delay. Ah yes, classical conditioning put to good use. Thought-to-speech technology that gets hacked by people who want text messages from their pets while they are at work, only to immediately regret it because their pets text them the dumbest things, and the only way to get any kind of a clear image of what's going on is texting the other pets for cross-reference. Like, you get a text from your dog going, "End is here, doom is coming, urgent, urgent, send text, God have mercy, human, come home immediately." You have no idea why the text translator has decided that your dog is Jewish, but that doesn't feel important enough to look into or change. And before you do, you text the cat like, "What's going on?" And the cat replies, "Sunshine is turned off, window is cold." So, okay, that's a clue. You've got a monitor lizard that doesn't do much monitoring, but will reply with whatever the lizard is feeling right now if you text question mark first. "The earth rumbles are sexy," replies the lizard. Okay, so dog panic, no sunshine, and the lizard is sensing vibrations. Oh, there's a rainstorm overhead. Fuck's sake. I bought a bunch of bananas, and I've caught Cleo staring at them every day since. Update. I took the last one, and now she wants to know where her bananas went. How do you know that she doesn't just really love that bowl? Because when we leave the bananas on the table without the bowl, she stares at them with just as much love. She only looks at the empty bowl right after we remove the last banana. Then she's no longer interested. I just think they're neat. I'm terrified of bugs, but I'm much less scared of the subset I parse as having jobs. Bees have jobs. Spiders kind of have jobs. Ants definitely have jobs. But millipedes do not seem to have jobs. They have a high ratio of legs to probability of employment. Very scary. Millipedes are the cleanup crew and groundskeepers. They eat fungi, decaying vegetable matter, and occasional carrion, and so help recycle nutrients back into the soil. They are not able to bite humans. That would be centipedes, and are totally harmless and helpful. The extra legs are for extra hugs. Once again, the humble role of custodian is forgotten. The garbage man is important. again about how the names Arctic and Antarctica just means bears and no bears. What can be more human than coming to a place you've never been and saying, bears are here, than visiting a similar place and going, but no bears here. And hilariously, that is not why it is called that. It is the circle of the bears because of Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, and the circle without bears because, opposite part of the sky. We lucked right into that one. So what you're saying is, the stars dictate whether bears do or do not exist in places. Astrology is real, but only for predicting where bears will be. Bears do not travel to places they cannot see their gods. I once cat sat for a 29-year-old cat. She would sit at the bottom of the stairs and yowl pitifully to be carried up. She couldn't find her bowl anymore, and had to be fed a spoonful at a time. She had to sleep in the bed with me, and I had to walk her to the litter tray during the night. Then I spoke to her owner after the cat sitting had finished, and she informed me that the cat needed none of these things, was perfectly capable of climbing stairs, feeding herself, and slept in her basket, and had simply identified me as a soft touch. I went over to visit a couple of weeks later, and the cat ran straight to the bottom of the stairs and started yowling. Dear Diary, made another stranger my bitch. I'm so emotional about dinosaur stuffed animals. There are these creatures, extinct long before any of us were alive, but we found their bones and their eggs and their footprints, and we made drawings and models of what they could have looked like, and we made them into stuffed animals so we could hold them. We made them soft so we could love them. I'm sobbing. Yeah, we're the animals so preoccupied with petting other animals, we're sort of collectively upset there are animals we never get to pet. So we made proxies to snuggle and tell their ghosts we'd have loved them if they were here. And tell their ghosts we'd have loved them if they were here. Hang on, I just have to cry for a minute. I love this side of humanity. Our desire to pack bond with everything is very dear to me. Post this hamster. Where to, boss? Hamsterdam. Little guy crawls into the tube. He's little cozy in there. And whoop, off he goes. Luft hamster. There's no fucking better way zum flying. Content. There's no fucking better way zum flying. Dude, this is random, but my mom works at a credit union, and a while ago this totally domestic collared dog came up to their door and was barking to get in. It's a small credit union, so they brought the dog inside to keep it safe while they got in contact with the owner. Anyway, the owner showed up, looking haggard, and was like, yeah, she keeps managing to get loose. I'm surprised she came here. She usually goes to Wells Fargo. And my mom was like, what? And the dog owner was like, yeah, ever since she started getting loose, she always goes to banks. We can't figure out why. Anyway, the dog is fine, and they're gonna crate train her or something. But how bananas fucking wild is it that this dog escaped multiple times specifically to go to the bank? What the fuck? They needed to make a deposit. I love seeing cardinals and blue jays together. I'm always like, heh, evil siblings. This is what I'm all about, baby. They're not even related. Jays are a type of corvid like crows and magpies, and cardinals are a grosbeak. Well, you see, they are both birds, and they both have fun hats. Hope this helps. This is how you win the Tumblr post. I just don't get it. How can our society act so goddamn normal about seahorses? How can anybody so casually accept that that's a fish? This is one of nature's most anatomically perverse of all beasts. A fish, like a carp or a bass or a beta is a fish, but it bent its body straight up only to bend its head permanently back down. It stretched its skull into a pipe. It tapered its tail like a lizard, specifically like a chameleon. It can also move its eyes independently, by the way. You know, like a chameleon. Fun fact, it can change color to express its mood. Like, whatever does that. It doesn't properly swim anymore. It buzzes its few remaining fins like an insect's wings to float itself around at a snail's pace. It lives its whole life clinging to coral branches or seaweed, which means it decided to become a tree dweller in an environment where gravity didn't even matter anyway. The males get pregnant. They make noises at each other by rubbing some of their neck bones together. Every day a mated pair does a little dance and a little neck bone song so they remember which two seahorses they were. They're a beautiful, precious obscenity. Nothing so adorable ever made such a strong case against a logical creator. They have as little skin and meat as they could get away with. Their skeleton is almost all they are. This thing is one of the most successful hunters on the planet. Because their mouth is fused shut except for the tip, they can create a powerful suction force in front of that one little opening in order to draw in prey. Lions have a 20 to 30% success rates on their hunts, depending on daytime and if they're in a group. Great white sharks, anywhere from 40% to 80%, depending on the size and skill of the individual. Dragonflies, which are one of the most successful terrestrial hunters, can hit about 80 to 85%. Seahorses, 90% success rate, sometimes more. Only a fraction of their prey escapes that powerful vacuum. They're incredibly precise. If you touch them, they feel hard because of the skeleton underneath their skin. Their tails are being studied to make coiling bridges because of how strong that interlocked structure is. Different species range in size from over a foot long to barely an inch. Behold, not just a fish, but a wildly successful predator. I've started a new evening ritual. I leave all my technology inside except my Walkman, and I get into the hammock in the backyard and listen to an album from start to finish. My cat has been curious about this new habit, and I've been trying to coax him into the hammock. Tonight was some Rolling Stones. I've never really given them a fair shake, so I'm working through the Stones in mono box set, and like clockwork, my big gray lump of a cat shows up. I make some space and start patting the hammock and asking him to jump up. And to my delight, he decides to climb into the hammock, except not in a very cat-like way. At this point I should let you know that my backyard is very dark and I don't see well. I have just invited a raccoon into the hammock with me, and the raccoon has obliged. The raccoon stares at me for a while, like, you invited me up here, now what? Now what indeed? So I very slowly put one foot down and then the other on either side of the hammock and slowly try to stand up. I'm maintaining eye contact with the raccoon as if my life depends on it. Here is my second miscalculation of the evening. As I take my weight off of the hammock, the raccoon starts to slide towards the middle. I am straddling the hammock and the raccoon is sliding straight at my crotch, and all I can think of is the laser scene in Goldfinger. I chuckle a little. The raccoon doesn't like this noise, or he doesn't like the sliding, or both. He tries to turn around and climb back to his end of the hammock, but instead now I'm straddling the raccoon like I'm playing horsey with it. I shout something, maybe, Christ! I don't know. The raccoon also makes a kind of disgruntled old man noise that probably means the same thing. I do a profoundly inelegant dismount, bringing one leg up way too high to get it over the raccoon, and end up falling on the ground. The raccoon looks down at me from the hammock. He grunts. He settles in. The raccoon is outside in what I assume is now his hammock. I am inside on the couch with ice on my groin because I definitely pulled something. Anyways, I'm still not a fan of the Rolling Stones. This reply in the comments, though. You'd think you would have learned from the groundhog incident. That was you, right? Was it a groundhog or some other urban beast? Yes, I came home from an eye exam and they put in the drops where you can't see for a few hours, and I thought I was letting in the cat, but I let in a groundhog who ate all the cat food and wouldn't leave. He came back to the door every day for a week, and I never told my wife why. This did not go where I expected from the first tweet, and now I am laughing so hard I am crying. Me. Removes my cat from my lap to do something else. My cat. Father is evil? Father is unyielding? Father is incapable of love? I am running away. I am packing my little rucksack and going out to explore the world as a lone vagabond. I can no longer thrive in this household. The spiritual successor to Miette. Me, lightly touching Miette with the side of my foot. Miette, move out of the way, please, so I don't trip on you. Miette, her eyes enormous. You kick Miette? You kick her body like the football? Oh, jail for mother! Jail for mother for 1,000 years! Might I also add, cat when I'm snuggling him. I've never met you in my life, you bastard, you fiend. Stop this at once. Cat when I'm busy doing something and can't pet him right that second. Where is my kisses from mommy? Where is my snuggles and cuddles that I crave so dearly? You are a cruel and unjust mother and I am going to scream! May I add the piece from artist Verbal Vomit? Mother, feed us, for we are but skin and bone. Mother cares not for us. Glad to see we're all in agreement that cats talk like disparaged Victorian children. I am so incredibly glad we finally moved on from I can has. Cats are clearly smart enough for advanced sentence structure and dumb enough to draw entirely incorrect conclusions about what they're talking about. My cat banging the cabinet door over and over and over. Bang, bang, bang. Me. You will not earn what you desire by banging the cabinet door. My cat. This is a test of wills, is it not? We shall see if your ability to put up with my incessant banging outlasts my eternal lust for snacky treats. Years of conditioning have hardened me for this purpose. Bang, bang, bang. Me. Psst. My cat throwing herself to the ground like she's been shot. Oh, I have been assailed in my own home. Have mercy, have pity. Surely in the cruel darkness of your heart there is some mote of goodness that might stay your hand. Do not strike me, I pray you. Me. Okay. My cat, after waiting about 3 minutes. Bang, bang, bang! When mother takes you to see the sail ships, and she is in fine humor, so you are rewarded for being an agreeable young boy. Ken has snacky treat. Father, why have you forbade me from entering the delicious chamber? It's called an oven, and you will die. I am strong, father. Mother? Yes. I require... What do I require? Provide! Growing up by the coast means that instead of crows on your roof, you get seagulls, and it honestly feels much more threatening. These are friends. Guys, even. This is a mafia family. I live in triple threat triad territory, where on different days you'll get crows, seagulls, and geese. And I can confirm, seagulls are the worst. Crows are tricksters and silly sometimes, but they're pretty much harmless. They'll come say hi. They remember you. They're buds. Geese are mean MFers, but in the same way an 80s high school bully is. They have no object permanence, so if you're not directly in their line of sight, you basically don't exist. And the trouble they make is very one-dimensional. Hiss at it, flap at it, poop. Seagulls? Seagulls have crow-like intelligence, but they use it for evil. For goose-like levels of violence, but in a clever way. They'll bully other birds. They'll bully people. They'll take things and then look back at you as if to say, yeah, you like that? And then once they see the hopelessness settle into your eyes, as you finally accept the hopelessness of struggle, they drop it, because the wickedness was the only point. Crows will look at you and you realize they're thinking and you go, aw, they see me. Seagulls will look at you and you realize they're thinking and the horror dawns on you, oh, they see me. Like, do you know how awful of a bird you have to be scarier than a literal murder? And yet... I know Tumblr has accepted the whole cat's internal monologue is a desolate Victorian child thing, but what if a cat's internal monologue was Gollum or Smeagol, scratching the floor near their bowl? Nasty, filthy, dry foods they serves us. We want soft, juicy morsels from the Kanses. Sitting in the window. What's it doing, precious? What noises it makes with pointy mouth? We wants it. Wicked, tricksy humanses. Doesn't feeds us in hours. Must reminds them or we'll starve. Wait for dinners? Oh no, that would kill us. Kill us! Bringing dead animals to owner. Look, look, see what good kitty finds. Eat them, eat them! There are many flavors of cats. Victorian child cats and Gollum cats are both equally valid. And so are can-has cats, who are probably orange. We all know that awful-looking former feral cat that's now inside and beloved and just disgusting and out of its mind. It's the kind of cat who manages to always smell vaguely like something bad. Skunk, garbage, sulfur, and not even the vet is exactly sure why, and no one's stupid enough to try and give that cat a bath. They're overly violent and possessive even when playing, almost as if they're deeply in touch with their prehistoric ancestors. Probably the majority of torties. I know mine is definitely a golem. I started thinking about that one post about how, from dogs' POV, humans are beings that live like 500 plus years, because I was petting my dog and I was looking at her like, 30,000 years of cooperation have led to this. Our species have spent 30k years building up to the point where you, child of wolf, descendant of noble hunters and wild things, would come all the way out of the office and come sit with me in the hopes of letting a souped-up monkey rub its paws on you. And then I thought about what it must have been like for the first humans to let a fucking wolf, maybe only a few generations from the wild, behold their infant child. Like, man, can you believe that? Maybe this alliance is only a few years old, and sure, you've seen the wolf's kids, but now you've got one of your own. And even though you've seen this wolf tear out the throats of creatures that could kill you, this wolf is your family. This wolf is your friend. You love them and they love you, and you gotta show them the new kid. Look, friend, I had a child. I know you are wild and dangerous, but look at this. My most precious thing. Sniff him, give him a little lick. His children and your children will be bound together for 30,000 fucking years because I love you. There's a set of preserved footprints from 30k years ago that is a young child and a wolf standing side by side. Can you fucking imagine? Maybe the kid's mom was like, hey, go get some water from the stream, but take the wolf with you. I trust him, he will protect you. Probably before the child was even born. Remember those posts about wildlife exhibits advising guests, if you might be pregnant and don't want to know about it, maybe don't go into the wolf enclosure when our tour goes through there, because the wolves can straight up smell a pregnancy and will suddenly get very protective, because that's what their instincts tell them to do. If your wife is pregnant and you've made a friend with a seemingly vicious predator who is now behaving as though your wife must be defended with its life, you know what? Maybe this is one of those things. It's okay to take a step back and let the critter sniff the new baby it helped bring into the world. Curious Zelda. A gift for you will soon arrive, but keep in mind, it's still alive. I see a bug, we become friends, but then I eat. The friendship ends. If you see me, don't say hi, just ignore me. I'm a spy. I had a doubt. I had to check. The truth is out. I have no neck. I'm in a box. I can't be seen. They'll never know where I have been. I am edgy. I am fright. I am drama. Every night. Always wait for your Zelda to finish charging. I cannot lie. I have a strength. I eat a fly. I grow in length. Did a focus. Did a zoom. Little spider met her doom. People of the internet, be careful what you eat. I swallowed something in the hall, and now I have no feet. Congratulations, you have been carefully selected for an awkward moment. You look at me, I look at you. There's nothing else we need to do. Find Curious Zelda on Twitter and Instagram. She does look like she would speak in rhyme, then disappear into the woods. My father was a loaf of bread. My mother was an owl. My sister was a sofa bed. My brother was a towel. These live rent-free in my head. Why is your cat green? She's built different. Look, I tried to laugh it off, but I haven't stopped thinking about this message because my cat literally isn't green. Like, where is the green? Says cat isn't green. Posts a picture of the most green-ass fucking cat I've ever seen. That's a pretty green cat. We may have another the dress situation on our hands. Oh, Christ. This is the color your cat is. Colors I eye-dropped directly from OP's cat. I drew a cat using only colors I dropped from OP's cat. Every time I see this post, all I see is some green alien kitty with antennae, so I had to draw it. I originally thought those were supposed to be mushrooms, implying that this cat is moldy. Moldy forest cat. Doing a big stretch. I'm happy y'all made fan art of my cat. I tried to show her and she just rubbed her face on my phone. Pet your cat, OP. 50% shot it helps. The first time I reblogged this, like a few weeks ago, it had like 4,000 notes. Why do people keep insisting Tumblr is dead? I had a dream about the green cat last night. Not sure what she was up to, but nice to meet her. Green cat is back on my dash! New sleep style. Hitting the snooze button so many times that you sleep 2 additional hours in 10-minute intervals. I call this horse sleep. Worse sleep. That was meant to say worse sleep. I am so fucking tired. Literally immediately after reblogging this to correct it, I went, wow, it has a reblog already? And got all the way to checking my notifs before I realized that it was me. How long do horses sleep? 2.9 hours. I actually wasn't that far off, you guys. How long does a horse sleep at night? It turns out that horses do not require a lot of REM sleep, roughly 2 to 3 hours a night, typically in short bursts of 10 to 20 minutes at a time. A typical night as a horse will involve grazing, snoozing standing up, and short periods of lying flat out to get some serious shut-eye. Contrary to popular belief, horses do not sleep standing. Holy shit, the post is saved! Anyway, horse sleep. Sleep, but horse. Worse. Sleep, but worse. Definitely one of the two. Posts that have 20k to me. We shall have a summer wedding! In all seriousness, that tag made me smile so much. Thank you. Nice highlight to my very sleepy day. Casper's Cryptid Tales. Fuck it. Let's try this again. Which of these would you be more surprised to see on your doorstep? An earth animal that exists on Earth for certain, a magical or mythical thing that you were previously 100% certain did not exist. This misses the point. It's not whether walruses exist. It's whether walruses leave the Arctic regions, pass through a climate that would kill them because they're evolved to nap on ice blocks, somehow make their way to my yard, come up the stairs, and knock. Even without the knocking, that's a lot of impossible. A squirrel? No shock. Possum? It's happened. Corvid? Perfectly rational. Bear? Well, okay, but I'm gonna scream and run. Deer? Now we're getting into weird territory because they may be around all the time. They don't do that. Kangaroo? Now we're moving into this is impossible, despite the fact that kangaroos definitely exist. It's not earth animal that exists versus mythical creature that doesn't, and never has been. It's an earth animal that cannot possibly be there versus a creature that you may or may not have believed existed previously. This is definitely a push-pull, by the way. This is how politicians get results that say, 85% of my constituents want this passed, because they do not word the answers in a neutral manner, in a deliberate attempt to skew the results the way they want. They ignore the real reason people answered the way they do. I know walruses are not in my area, I do not know the territorial range of a mythical creature, in order to force their own personal reasoning onto the poll answers. Which is fine for a dumb little poll, but you need to understand it's deceptive. You know, that's actually a valuable addition. So, I just found a cat that is not mine, and it has had babies under my bed. Trying to adjust to the cat shit crazy reality of going upstairs to grab a jumper, but instead finding a cat and 4 kittens. Am I a dad now? Paternal instincts kicking in, overwhelmed with feels, don't know how to deal, canceling all my plans, crawling under the bed to spend the rest of the day with my 4 new children. Hashtag new dad. Cuteness update. I'm dying. I am living for these babies. Any work commitments I have are now temporarily on hold. Sorry, I'm a dad now. Just canceled my order for comics and single malt whiskey. Now buying cat food. This is fatherhood, yo. I'm here for this. I feel like the veil of the universe is being lifted slightly. Like, I feel high. Is this what it feels like to have a child? I think I'm falling in love. Fuck! This is too much. I'm approaching nirvana. I legitimately suffer from anxiety attacks and depression, and my capacity to deal with it recently has been waning. The cat gods have smiled upon me with benevolence and turned the monsters under my bed into kittens. Is it unhealthy to get tears on kittens? Is it unhealthy to cry about kittens? Asking for me. To my cat sons and daughters, I'll be the hero you deserve, but not the one it needs right now, because of Mama Cat. so I'll hunt for you, because I can afford it. I'll be your silent guardian, your watchful protector. Love, Cat Dad. I think I'm living the best day of my life. Wait, no. Actually, fuck it. Yes, I am. This is the best. This is so wholesome. Update, he finally got the cat to the vet to see if she had a microchip. Holy fucking fuck! She is not chipped! Hashtag CatDad, transformation 100% complete. I was already on board with his sweet, wholesome, open to love and nurturing heart, but I was fully unprepared for getting to that last tweet and seeing how off-the-hook hot dude is. Here's his Twitter. There is also additional cat photos of his children. Aww, they're so cute. Look at them playing. They have big Lego. Look at the pretty eyes. Cat Dad is back. Aw, the kids grew up so fast. I love Cat Dad. This is by far the single most adorable fucking thing I have ever seen. Update. Couldn't have a Christmas tree this year because cats. So I've attacked their cat tree with tinsel. Let's see how long this lasts. Catterday. I love that he kept all of them. Hail, forever of the house Zarsilla, first of her name, the sassiest, queen of the beds, above and below, warmer of cold hearts, breaker of cups and mother of the brood. Come forth and bend the knee to give her treats. Happy Mother's Day. Just out here looking majestic AF. I've reblogged the earlier part of this thread before, and the new stuff makes it even better. This is the Tumblr equivalent of a warm hug on a cold day. Typing with one hand. Dear clients, I'm afraid I'll be unable to fulfill my EOP deadlines as I've been operating 50% slower with all work commitments. Sorry, not my fault. I became a sofa today, and I'm okay with this. My morning view. Finally, a day with nothing to do but roll around with the kids. Carpeing the diem. This chonky boy enjoying his day. Hope you all get to eat your body weight in pancakes today. You're welcome. I remember this thread, but I never saw the grown-up pics. 1 whole year ago, I caught a glimpse of the universe when 5 furry beings arrived under my bed. Life changed forever. They teach me daily, save me daily. I grow as they grow. Stronger, furrier, meowier. Happiest birthday, my fam. Long live the brood. All hail Cat Dad. I saw Cat Dad for the first time today, and my day instantly became exponentially better. I'm crying. Cat Dad has revived my will to live. I live for Cat Dad. Cat Dad has saved us all. Meow? Meow. Then and meow. My biggest achievement this year is becoming my best self and assuming my final form, a cat bed. Cat Dad! I had not seen the updates. I am so happy that the cat god smiled upon this person and their new family. He's got more recent pictures and is also an incredible artist. But this is the fam circa May 2020. Paris is selling 2021 calendars with pictures of his cats, as well as holiday cards if you're interested. This was his tweet from November 7, too. Oh, wow, they're all so majestic. If you're having a bad day, it's worth your time to go scroll through his media tab on Twitter. It's mostly cat pictures, some of his cool art, and his face. May 2023 update, 5 years. It's been 5 years since I found the greatest treasures beneath my bed. They've seen me in all my darkness and in all my light. They are with me in strength and struggle. Years go by like days when every moment with them is my best life. Even when cleaning up endless poop or stepping on furball sick. Being your dad is my greatest honor. Happy birthday, kiddos. I love you. Their names are Forever, Mama, bottom right, Pancake, top, Mac, middle left, Ronin, middle right, and Dobby, bottom left. There was one of those hyper-specific polls that had an option like, your grandfather told you war stories that he never told anyone else. And now I feel like I have to tell the story about how a spider saved my grandpa's life in World War II, and how my family doesn't kill spiders because we owe our existence to that one single spider. So to set the scene, it's the height of World War II in France, and my grandpa, A 6'3" 20-year-old Upper Michigan farm boy has been separated from his company after their temporary camp was shelled. My grandpa, who I have to add was nicknamed the Suicide Kid at this point because he worked in demolitions and bomb interception and kept taking the jobs no one wanted with the expectation that he was never going home anyway, is scared out of his wits, wandering around the French countryside alone. He has to move at night and sleep in barns and sheds during the day to hide from people who most definitely want him dead. On one of these days, he finds a farmhouse of a very jittery couple who agree to let him sleep in the barn with the conditions that he sleeps in the barn loft, and if he's found, they disavow all knowledge that he was there. He agrees because he's exhausted and will sleep in a hay pile if he has to. My grandpa manages to fit all 6'3" inches of himself into a feed trough stored upstairs and tries to get some sleep. However, right when he's half snoozing, he hears motors outside, and sure enough, here are some very angry officers of mixed Nazi and Vichy make confronting the couple, saying someone up the road spotted an American soldier walking this way. They wouldn't know anything about that, would they? No, of course not. All the while, my grandpa, now trying to figure out how to either escape the barn unseen or how to fight off 6, 7, 8 people at once, freezes up and waits for the inevitable. While he does, a huge spider crawls next to his head and onto the loft railing. For 1 second he thinks about swatting it away, but that would risk him being seen and killed. So instead, he lays there and waits to either fight to the death or get executed in a feed trough. And while he lays there, the spider starts making a huge web on the railing. My grandpa's transfixed by this thing. He watches her go around and around, building a solid web before plopping herself off to one side and waiting for breakfast. At the same time, the officers finally go into the barn. My grandpa can hear them searching around, turning over crates and checking animal pens. Then he hears one say to check the loft, and then another say, "Don't bother, look at the spider webs up there. No one's been there in a while." And they leave. Because my grandpa didn't swat the spider away and let her build her web, the officers thought no one was there and left him alone. They drive off, and my grandpa immediately thanks the farmer couple and hauls ass out of there as soon as he can. After this, my grandpa refused to kill any spider, and his kids did the same, because if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have lived and would never have had kids or grandkids. So we owe her one. There's the man himself. Go Grandpa! He's sitting on a tank barefoot in this picture. It's pretty great. I love cats and all the ways they say, "I want us to be family." I love when they learn about affectionate human behaviors and start incorporating them into their own behaviors, such as nose boops and forehead kisses when you're getting ready for bed, or trying to share blankets. And I love that a well-socialized cat will even actively make eye contact with you in a genuinely friendly way for a little bit before a slow blink. Breaks my heart that so many generations of humans were falsely taught that cats hate us and want only to take advantage of us, when the truth is that they love us just as we love them, and they mirror our affection and love back to us, so we might understand that the love goes both ways. And they do this without us telling them to do it or showing them how. Because they love us so much, they pay attention to how we love, how we share kindness and compassion. I love cats, and all the ways they say, "I want us to be family." Beep boop, I look for accidental haiku posts. Sometimes I mess up. Haiku bot, I love you! This is perfect! I feel like the reason certain dog lovers insist cats are evil is because they read their body language as if they were dogs. So here's a very basic guide to common mean things cats do that actually aren't mean at all if you know what they're thinking. Rolling and exposing belly. Attacks you when touched. Does not mean give belly rubs. Haha, I tricked you. Actually means I'm playful. If you reach for my belly, I'll grab your arm and bite it because I think we're play fighting. Lazily exposing belly. Still attacks when touched. Does not mean tricked you again. Actually means I'm showing you my belly because I trust you. Please don't break that trust by invading my personal space. I might accept a belly rub if I'm not ticklish and I know you well. Snapping at you while being pet. Does not mean I suddenly decided I dislike you. Actually means, you're petting me in a way that gives me too much restless energy. Please focus on petting my head and shoulders instead of stroking the full length of my back next time. Is in the same room but makes no attempt to interact. Does not mean, I'm ignoring you. Actually means, we're hanging out. I'm being respectful by giving you space while still enjoying your company. Slapping, scratching your hand when you try to pet them. Does not mean, I hate you. Actually means, you failed to establish that we're not playing, or the way you're approaching me scares me. Be calmer, speak more gently, make eye contact, and blink slowly at me before you try again. I love this post. Oh my god, thank you so much. As a lifelong cat person, dogs perplex me because they're so completely different behaviorally. I love dogs too, but I've been trying to tell people you cannot treat cats like you treat dogs. They aren't the same animals and have very different personalities. P.S. People often pet cats way too hard. Dogs like a firm pet or a pat on the belly. Cats don't have the same bone structure and are more flexible than dogs, so what you're doing probably hurts them. Sitting and staring does not mean I am challenging you, plotting your demise, just generally evil and creepy. Actually means I am a desert-adapted species, so my natural tears are very thick and keep my eyes moist for a nice long time. I do find people interesting and enjoy watching them. I just don't need to blink very often. Staring and blinking slowly does not mean I'm smug and think I am smarter than you. Actually means I like you, but I don't need to get up in your face to show it. I can just sit over here and blow kisses at you to show you I am glad you are around. It's very frustrating for me when people expect cats to act like dogs or act like they're deceitful. They aren't. They just aren't dogs. Poor le chat. Get ready for more reasons why I fucking love cats. Yes, the legends are true. Cats headbutt you to show their trust and affection. They also do it to show, hey look, I see you as family. Lions do it with members of their pride to say the same. It's not just because they want food. Cats nibbling is indeed, literally, cats grooming you. It's what mom cats do to their kittens. If a cat is gently biting and or licking you, they're now your mom. Meowing can simply be for the mere fact they want to say hello, want to play, or be pet. Again, not just for food. They barely meow at other cats. Except for kittens, they meow at mom cat. Mostly just humans. There are exceptions, but overall, meowing is almost always for us. Cats squinting or slow blinking is indeed basically the equivalent of us smiling and or kissing. Cats, like humans, prefer to get things without having to work for it, which isn't very common within other animals. Cat massages or making biscuits is because they're happy. Kneading is another way of saying, hey, I like this moment here. I enjoy you and my life. Cats recognize us by smell, sound, taste, and touch. They recognize us after years as their long-term memory is extremely good. This is why abused or neglected cats are so easily scared or hard to connect with. If your scent changes over the years or just in the day, your voice will tell them it's really you. Also, they will only remember you if you had impact on their life. If you just existed in the same house, they obviously won't care. And yes, they know our patterns in the day. You notice it when it's beneficial to them, feeding time. They will often wait for you to come home as well. To remember, cats think we are interesting as hell. They watch us do everything because we're fascinating. They also want you to be around when eating because they feel vulnerable. They focus on eating so they hope you protect them. They do the same for you, all the time. Cats! When a cat turns their back on you, they're not snubbing you. They're trusting you to watch their back. Notice how when you're unfamiliar but non-threatening, they might loaf facing you and sorta halfway watch you. You're not fully trusted, but you're okay by them. When you're familiar and light, they'll often sit near you facing the same way. Imitation of poses is a weird little way cats show solidarity. They do it to each other too. Check out these BFFs. They are doing this on purpose. It's a buddy thing. So if you're watching TV and a cat sits next to you and pretends to watch TV too, they are basically calling you bro and declaring friendship. And if they really love you and trust you, they'll turn their back on you and go to sleep. They'll sleep facing a wall in your presence or lounge where they can't see the room. This isn't a snub, folks. This is true kitty love. They're saying, I feel safe when you're around. I know nothing's going to sneak up on me because you're here. I feel so safe I can stick my head under a pillow and snore with my butt pointed at you. Farts aren't an expression of love though. as far as I know. They're just farts. Not mentioned, but still relevant. Wagging tail does not mean happy, means lots of restless energy or agitated. Fun fact, because I treat all animals like tiny intelligent toddlers with logic and common sense that just doesn't glock yours because species barrier and a distinct lack of thumbs. I consider any pets in a house just as much a resident to be respected as the humans, because I am the guest and bitch, they live there. So because I taught pre-K and consider most pet animals to just be adult human logic impaired thumbless toddler equivalents, I talk to them like my students. Meow. Yes, what is it? Meow. I don't understand that tone. Can you show me? And I follow them. And I know a lot of cat people who don't speak cat, but they appreciate their animal. So I just give them the fun fact of what something means when they comment on a behavior they think is cute or weird, they encourage simply because it is cute and they were told it was not harmful. And my favorite is when big quiet men who spoil their cats learn that their fluffy baby walking in to sit next to them playing a game and keeping eyes on the door their human is not paying attention to is their cat's way of saying, "I got eyes on the door, bro. You're good to keep playing." There is nothing better than hearing, "Oh, you watching the door for me, buddy? Hell yeah, thanks. After this round, we breaking out the nip." And a responding meow after watching a man cry real tears at some point because I informed him that sleeping in the corner meant his cat was deeply trusted him, and waking up to the cat sitting in his pillow watching the door was the guard duty while he slept. The cutest shit is telling cat people, yes, they love you just as much as you think they do, and maybe a little more than you could ever imagine. A guest looking at the timber rattlesnake in the reptile exhibit. Do the snakes have names? Me. Launches into my speech about how no, they don't, even though the non-venomous snakes do, because they're wild animals and dangerous to handle. The reptile keeper is wary of overfamiliarity becoming carelessness, so we don't give them names as a mark of respect and a reminder of caution. You can call them anything you want though. Guest. Oh, that makes sense. I was going to say this one's name should be Justin. You know, Justin Timbersnake, me. I am going into the reptile room this second and asking him to change the name policy. Name gems collected from the notes. An alligator named Steve, Irwin, a tarantula named Mariah Harry, a rattlesnake named Buzz Killington, a grackle named Jensen Grackles, and suggested solutions such as naming all of them Justin Timbersnake so it's not overfamiliar, naming them things like Death and Handle with Care, and Lil Nas Snacks.